Hello, everyone. Welcome to Creatorland podcast. And this episode is for those who want to move to the next level in their business and their life. They've done a lot of inner work, a lot of spiritual work, maybe, and yet somehow you still feel something is missing, like you feel kind of stuck. I've been there, and that's how the Creatorland was born. And I'm here to deliver you the missing puzzle in your quest through this episode. Something that will make it click, hopefully, and you will finally understand that everything is good with you, everything is fine, that you don't need another miraculous strategy, you don't need another miraculous course or skills, that you don't lack anything for your business to grow or for your life to change, that actually you've been operating from a survival mode without even knowing that. My name is Anna Jaja. I'm a founder of Creatorland, Creatorland Academy, Creatorland Philosophy. I'm Ukrainian immigrant in the United States. I'm also an entrepreneur, a mom, and a wife. And in my podcast episodes, I will be sharing more of my journey. Let's start, let's get into it. And I would love your comments. I would love your questions. I have plenty of more episodes for consciously aware entrepreneurs coming up, already structured. And there is years and years of work and research and actual embodiment of everything that I'm going to talk about it here. So don't forget to click subscribe, to put the bell on so you receive more episodes, and feel free to follow me on my social media. Let's dive right in. I'm gonna drop this on you right away. I don't want you to anticipate and wait till the end of the video, but I'm gonna explain it in more details. So the reason that you are stuck is not because something is wrong with you, not because you've been doing the wrong strategy, because you have been operating from survival mode. Even though you think that you are out of this stage anymore, you have unconsciously been operating in that mode and you didn't even know about it. So, what is the strategy that will actually bring your business to the next level in the most easy and fast way? This is switching from survival to creator mode. So, that's where we're going to be unpacking in this episode. We're going to talk about survival mode versus creator mode, what's this, what that, and most importantly, how do you actually switch and how do you actually bring your business to the next level? Let's first talk about where you are right now, where I was for a long time. So, a lot of my achievements were coming from pushing, burnout, working very hard because that's what I knew. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, you have to handle the problems, you have to handle the pressure, you must be high capacity, and that's all true. But at some point of my life, this just stopped working. I couldn't push anymore, even though I knew that I achieved success before, I knew I could do it before, but nothing seemed working. Nothing could move me. I was procrastinating. I didn't know where to go, what strategy to take. I was drowning in all these educations and courses and mentorship and coaching, everything at the same time. But the result was not showing up for me. So all of this inner work, all of these manifestations, all of these practices, and yet the result was not showing up. So I was on the edge of switching to creator mode. So survival mode, how does it actually look and what is that? Imagine life is a quest. And I just don't want you to imagine it. I want you to take it as a fact. So life is a quest. Your spirit is on the quest here. That's why all the information doesn't come easily. That's why you kind of have to dig and ask questions and pray for your answers. And you've probably, people who watch it, you've done a lot of inner work. Otherwise, you will just not see this episode. So you're ready for this next piece of your quest, this next piece of your puzzle. So here it is. Your spirit is on a quest here. And the whole purpose of this quest is human experience. It's not about your life mission. It's not about your spiritual journey. It's not about saving anyone. It's all about experience. And how do you get experience? You get experience from traction. That's the only way for the spirit to grow, kind of, and move. So when we are download here in the game, we spawn here in the game. My daughter recently, actually, she gave me this insight because she changed my name on her phone, calling me Spawn Point. I am not native English speaker, I'm Ukrainian. So I was like, what is spawn? And apparently it's a place in a game where you start your game from. So you spawn into the game. So she called me, her mother, a spawn point. That makes sense, right? She appeared in the game, right in the game, through me and through her dad. So she called her dad a developer and me a spawn point. So this is it. We spawn into the game. We know our experience. We know what's awaiting for us. We know the mission. We know the task. We know how hard it's gonna be. But we consciously forgetting everything because otherwise it makes no sense, right? I was recently in this quest room with my daughter, and that's also a lot of insight came from there. And we are in this quest room, and the host is telling us, hey, the doors are always open. You can ask for as many tips as you want, but have fun, play, like don't rush for the tips. So everyone must be okay. All the team members must be okay for you asking for a tip, you know? So the whole point of understanding this human experience is understanding that when you enter, you spawn into the game, you spawn into survival mode of the game. Everyone is the same because otherwise there is no friction, there is no development, there is no fun in it. Imagine entering a quest room and kind of all the answers are already in there, so you just have to experience the quest room, but you don't have to guess. There is no rush, there is no excitement, there is no guessing, there is no like developing yourself. And even when we were asking for tips, it didn't feel that good versus when we actually figured something on our own. So I remember this, wow, I figured this on my own. We didn't ask for a tip and it felt so good and so amazing. So this is kind of the same what's happening here in this game. So when you're in survival mode, then you face a lot of hardships, you face a lot of problems, you build your resilience, you build your skills, you overcome, you survive, you start asking questions. Of course, your spiritual awakening happens during this journey because the harder your level is, the sooner you will start asking questions. I sometimes say that actually it's the luckiest people are those with the hardest journey because they ask questions. They ask questions early. They're like, why is my life this way? Why is it so hard? So I want more money. I want more this. I want more that. So you kind of start to ask questions because it's uncomfortable. No growth happens in the comfort zone. It just doesn't happen, not in this game. So the harder your journey was, and your maybe business journey, entrepreneurship journey, the luckier you are if you look at it this way because you started asking questions and here you are asking. Now you're getting the answer of why it was this way and what you can do to move to another mode. So that's survival mode. In survival mode there is competition. It's kind of this all 3D matrix as we know it. It's survival mode because there we have limitations, we have fears, we have this limiting beliefs, we have hardships, we have karmic lessons that we have to go through. We have to go through all this game piece by piece, puzzle by puzzle, sometimes asking for tips. We go and we reach the door. And once we open the door, everything changes completely. Everything shifts because that's where you are actually switching the mode. So once your path is reaching this point that you are about to switch to creator mode, your life might look like something, nothing works. Meditations don't work, manifestations don't work, coaching doesn't work. Your relationship crumble, your business crumbles, your old source of income crumbles. Everything is changing. It's kind of like this dark night of the soul, but I would say even worse because you think that you have already been through the dark night of soul. You've been through the hardship and you've become spiritually aware already. You know that you create your reality, your thoughts influence your reality. And that was the hardest part for me because I kind of thought that I figured this out, like I hacked the matrix and it was working for some time. But the fact is that was an illusion. I was still living in 3D matrix, but it just moved for me to another level. This is also a part of 3D matrix where you are kind of awakened, like you know manifestation, you know inner work, you know mindset, but you are still in survival mode. And that's very tricky because you think that you're not. I thought that I'm not. I didn't even know about this survival mode and creator mode. And that's very tricky because you get stuck, because you think, oh my, I know this, like, I know mindset, I know that, like, I think I've cleared my limiting beliefs, I think I've cleared my ego, so why am I stuck? And that's actually happening the second dark night of soul. And it's even worse than the first one, because now you're completely lost, because you think that you figured this out and you're completely taken aback and startling. I know it, everything. Like, even a lot of people who come to me, they've been in mindset and coaching and energy work for years and years, for decades. And when I help them to update their operational system, to switch the mode, it's like a complete breakthrough for them, because this is a good thing that you've been doing so much inner work, and the bad thing at the same time, because you think that you know it all. But the moment you think that you know it all, stop yourself and say to yourself that, oh my God, I'm in survival mode. Because this is one of the most tricky traps, when we're in this part of our journey, when we think we know it all, because we don't. And the more you go further, the more you understand that you don't. So if you think that you know it all, if you think you know it all about mindset, then you are stuck in a trap of matrix keeping you small, because you are in survival mode. How else it might look? It might look like your life is pretty good. You might have already business, some kind of success, but in survival mode, success always, and I mean it, always requires some kind of sacrifice. Even if you are awakened, even if you are very advanced in your mindset work, very good with your limiting beliefs, you spot them right on, and you can, some inner work. But for example, there is some very, very deep subconscious beliefs that was, I will show you all, I like real life examples. So I knew how to make money always. I always had some kind of businesses. We had restaurants, I had online retail shop, I had social media agency, many, many different types of businesses throughout my life. But there was something like I would reach a certain point in business, and then it would make only sense to grow. Like, it was very logical and we're thriving and everything goes well. And then something would happen, boom, and either we sell the business or exit the business, or COVID hits and like our restaurant businesses, they just almost shut down. We barely survived. So we kind of had to sell it, to make our ends meet, from very, very successful going up. And then boom, something happens. And I was by that time already knowing manifestations, journaling, I was very spiritually aware person. I believed in my path, in universe, and, but why was it happening? Little did I knew that there's so many more layers in me to unpack that holding me back. So I started asking questions like, why am I reaching certain level in my success? And I'm always there is a pattern. There was a pattern, and there was very deep subconscious belief in me that success requires sacrifice of my family. I am a mom of two right now, but at that time I had a daughter, and the family is one of my core values. It's like so deeply imprinted in me. It was one of my life lessons to go through that family. Like, I don't imagine replacing family with anything else. It's like sacred for me. So being a good mom, being a good wife, been married for 15 years with my husband now, almost 16. So it was non-negotiable always for me. And yet I also wanted money and success and good life and traveling and providing for my kids. And so when I was a kid, I made two promises to myself. So, not a kid, I would say, as I was growing up, I made two promises. The first one, that I will never live like my parents did, because I grew up without a father, very big poverty. I don't know if it's appropriate to say big poverty, but it was this kind of poverty we're questioning, like, if there is gonna be food tomorrow on the table. So my family worked very hard, teeny tiny apartment. We were living 5, 7 people in it. It was like my uncle and many people. So they were working hard. So I promised myself that I'm gonna make something out of myself, so my family doesn't have to suffer, and I will not have my kids, future kids, living like that. We lived from salary to salary, barely surviving. So that was my first promise. And my second promise was that my kids will have present mom. Not that I have any problem with my mom, but she was working so hard, so busy, so tired. So I barely saw her. And when I saw her, she was so exhausted. So I felt guilty for even wanting anything from her. And I saw her suffers, and there was nothing I could do. So I had to grow up pretty early, like mature pretty early. So that developed a big sense of empathy in me, sense and emotions. And yeah, there was a lot of childhood trauma. That's okay, part of me, part of my gifts. And so the second promise was that I will be present mother. And I made this promise kind of consciously but unconsciously as well, and it was so deeply imprinted in me. And I got married very early because I always wanted to get married, to have a family. We struggled to have our daughter. I struggled 4 years with infertility, IVF, two ectopic pregnancies, a miscarriage. We struggled a lot because so much I wanted to become a mom so much. I was young and yet I really wanted. So by the age of 27 I got my first daughter, my first kid. And when I was holding her on my hands, I named her Alexandra. I was holding her, this teeny tiny baby. And then the promise, it became so real. I said to myself, she's going to have it all, everything that I didn't have. And she's going to have the best mom ever. She's going to have the present mom, the one that goes to all events, that supports her, who is there for her. And then I had this contradiction because I married my husband not for money, it was love, and we were starting. He was young, I was young, so it was, hard times. So two promises contradicting itself. One is success and money and business and good life, and other present parent. So in survival mode, it doesn't connect. It doesn't go together. So there is coming back to the same what I started with. There is always some kind of sacrifice. So the first sacrifice that was imprinted in me, that I'm gonna have to sacrifice my family if I want success. And that's true for survival mode. Success always comes with sacrifice. This is the rule. These are the rules of the game, and that's okay. And you can learn them, you can change them, you can switch the mode, which I'm gonna show you how. But that's the rules. So I figured that if I want to be present mom, I will not go employment. I have to be, self-employed. And that's how my whole entrepreneurship kind of journey started. I had, a lot of different online projects and stuff like that. So later on in my life, I figured why I was reaching certain point in my business and it would crash or I would exit. And the same was happening with my husband, also like our family business overall. So there was a lot of imprints about money, that money are evil, rich people are evil, all of that. So it was kind of complementing each other. And this put me on a very deep journey of self-awareness where I unpacked so many limiting beliefs, so many deep unconscious programs. So that's why it was very obvious. That's why I was exiting the businesses or losing my businesses, because I made a promise that I will be present mom. So if I go more further into success, expansion, more branches, there's going to be more work. So of course I will have to, delegate, take in childcare, like have more time with nanny and stuff like that. So I will not be present. So I was self-sabotaging my own businesses just to, not to break the second promise. But it was unconscious. So that's survival mode. That's how we live in. So how to check if you're in survival mode? For example, is there anything that you want but you don't have right now? Obviously, of course, there is always something, right? So ask yourself why I don't have it. And if the answer is because maybe I'm not good enough, or I don't have enough skills, or the circumstances, you are in survival mode. That's 100% of the time you're in survival mode. Because once you switch the mode to creator mode, and let's say you decide there is a desire and you want it, we'll talk in more depth about creator mode soon. But once you switch there, the only answer about like why you don't have yet what you want is probably there is a benefit for me not having it. I have to unpack it, and there is a ways that I will manifest that. That's all. That's the only answer you will give when you are in creator mode. Because in survival mode, we believe that there are external circumstances. Even if you are spiritually aware, I was already pretty much spiritually aware, manifestation and stuff, but I did believe that there are circumstances that prevent me from having what I want. For example, we moved to US with one suitcase, literally. I just jumped into my car with my daughter and my dog. It was war in Ukraine, and I just drove off to Poland. I left everything. Like there was no really a question of, selling something or getting something. Like we just left the life, like come completely from zero. And when we came here, I was pretty much, as I told you, awakened, and I know manifestation, and I think I'm so, advanced. It was now, I'm laughing remembering that because I was so much in deep sleep and so much in many illusions. But I came and my husband got some job, and I understand that I need to go 9 to 5 job because that's what the story is being told about immigrants, that it must be hard if you're an immigrant and so on. But there I make a decision because I said, hey, if I create my reality, why do I need to go? Like, I will choose myself and my daughter because she will go to school, and you know I can only work till 3 p.m. and then, but at the same time there was a lot of guilt because kind of am I putting it all on my husband? Is it like it's unfair? I'm being a bad wife. So you see how much I was in survival mode. All of these thoughts, they're so much covered into being right, being good wife, good mother, that they keep you from what you want. Because as a good wife, as a very like polite, good girl, I must support my husband. I shouldn't put the whole pressure on him. It's hard. But this is survival mode thinking, because in creator mode, you say, hey, I want to live this life, this level of income. I want to have these things in my life. And I also don't want to work 9 to 5, and you can have it. There is no limitation. There is no limitation at all. It's just a matter of practice, unpacking limiting beliefs, like working inner work, 80-20 rule, 80% inner work and framework, and 20% aligned action. So I made a choice, even though I felt extremely guilty and uncomfortable. I chose myself in this. To stay true to myself. I will not go 9 to 5. And life kind of arranged its way around this, and I started my blog to help Ukrainians to adjust in United States. And fast forward a couple of years, I'm one of the most known influencers among Ukrainian immigrants, helping thousands of people. Very grateful to me, building a community around me, having a big YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram, being very known without pursuing it for monetary purposes. It was happening through me as I was walking the path of arranging my life in United States. I was sharing with people, making you for them YouTube tutorials, mentally supporting a lot of them, being them for them kind of like a support because it's very hard. And I chose not to go 9 to 5. I chose to stay true to myself, even though there was blame. And life rearranged for me. I started making money. I was free, but I was still operating from survival mode because the money were coming in a hard way. They were coming. My husband started earning more money also, but in a very hard way. So at some point, I felt my back hurts, my neck hurts because I was helping them to fill paperwork, and I was given consultations, working a lot of one-on-one jobs. I was given a lot of free advice. I was always answering people, helping them, helping. I was giving like a sacrifice. And at some point, I burned out because I'm a human. I have nervous system, and every nervous system has a capacity. With high capacity people, it takes longer to burn out, but you will burn out eventually if you don't take care of yourself. So that was survival mode because, yes, I said that I'm creating the life I want, like I'm being free, not 9 to 5 job, but actually I wasn't free, not free at all, because I was on always answering my phone, always helping people. And though it was a good thing because I really helped a lot of people, but there were different ways to arrange the same kind of help, but in much easier way for me. But I didn't see them because my mindset was, I had this belief imprinted that money are hard to make. And if I don't earn money in a hard way, these are easy money, and easy money are scary and dangerous, and easy come, easy go, and all of that. So I had a lot of my identity weaved into this survival mode that if I didn't work hard, I wasn't proud of myself. Because if I said that I got something very easily, I felt guilty about it. This was all coming from my childhood. And this is all survival mode. So you see how you may be very consciously aware person, spiritual, know about meditations and everything, and still live in survival mode. And I see a lot of people still living in survival mode. And that's very important to switch, because in survival mode, as I told you, there is a sacrifice. So there we come to another type of sacrifice, the health. And it's gonna be health sacrifice. So it's gonna be either family, or health or money. You choose. So you kind of like, what's on your scale, right? If you are very good with making money, if your business is thriving, but you are in survival mode, 100% there is something happening in your or family, or let's say relationship if you don't have a family, on these issues, or health, or and even if you are not yet aware of it, because you're high capacity, as I was very high capacity, like I could handle multitasking and pressure and working days and nights and sleeping less, and at the same time I was a good mom, I was taking care of my family and kids and cooking and being a good wife, so I was kind of handling it all. I was pretty good, like, yeah, my life seemed so put together on the outside, but inside I was struggling, I was burning out. I never felt like there is a space. Like when the first time somebody holds space for me in coaching, I felt so weird. It felt so weird, like somebody can ask me how I feel, what I want, because I was never putting myself first. And these are all sacrifice programs from our family, from our ancestors, from previous generation. They're imprinted in us, and we are not aware even that these are not ours. Like we're not supposed to carry this much load. Yeah, coming back to the beginning of this episode, our spirit chose the path. That's okay. But if you're hearing this now, it's time to let it go. It's not how it's supposed to be. So all of it is survival mode. So if you have any kind of limitation why your life cannot be certain way, even if I ask you why your business is not yet expanded, scaled, and you can tell me, I don't have, like, I'm keeping it smaller for my kids because I don't want to hurt my family, and that's okay, I'm fine with it. You are in survival mode because you don't have to sacrifice it. If this desire for bigger impact is in you and you've been shrinking it, eventually it will come out and you will have to let it out. But better to let it out when you switch the mode to creator mode. So if I would describe survival mode in few words, just to like kind of summarize it, I would say that survival mode is any type of limit, that you're in survival mode if you have any type of limitation, any type of explanation why you don't have it, even though it might seem logical to you and it doesn't look like sacrifice to you. For example, for mom who say, hey, I want to be there for my kids, I don't care about the business, it's fine, I don't care for the impact, I'm choosing consciously choosing my family, and I don't feel it as a sacrifice, it's like that's what I want to do. But you do have a desire for impact. Maybe you want to be an author or speaker or travel or something inside of you. You are sacrificing it, even if you're doing it on, like, willingly. In creator mode, you don't have to. This is limiting belief that you have to choose or family or health or success, or success must look in a specific way, because there is a lot of limiting beliefs around entrepreneurs that if you want your business to scale, to go to the next level, then you must work more hours. That's absolutely not true, because creator mode, and we're slowly coming to the creator mode, is something completely different from survival. So you must understand that there are two modes in the game, the survival mode and creator mode. We consciously choose survival mode. We spawn into the game. Then we're on our life journey, quest, unfolding, asking questions, collecting pieces of puzzle, coming back to our spiritual awakening, understanding that we influence reality. And then we kind of try to learn it, and then we crash into a wall, going through a dark night of soul when nothing works, specifically to have you switch the mode, because you're no longer supposed to succeed in survival mode. That's it, you're done. If you're stuck and nothing works, you're done with survival mode. It's time to let it go, and there is a way to do it. So your whole operation system is called survival mode, OS survival mode. And there is a way to update. It's almost like updating a software. Update your software to creator mode and learn the rules, learn how to navigate it, learn how to operate there. But the most important thing, if you could understand one thing about creator mode, is that there is no limitation. Limits do not exist in creator mode. So when your soul is ready to connect with you, kind of like to connect body, mind, and soul, it will start knocking you off from your path. It will start creating obstacles for you. You will feel crushed. But all of it is actually explained also from your body and nervous system perspective, because it's like you're born with certain capacity of nervous system capacity. We are all different, so the capacity is going to be different. Somebody can, survive this much, and somebody can survive this much. So my capacity was extremely high. I've been through so much, so it was like my nervous system had a big capacity for stuff. So once I reached my limit, like there is nothing else left, I started procrastinating. Everything starts to fall apart. I was in depression, like relationship crumble, life crumbles, house crumbles, everything crumbles because the nervous system reached its capacity. And the only way to move forward from there is to switch, to upgrade, because there is no more fuel left. In survival mode, we push, we use this fuel, but it has a limit. In creator mode, you don't need fuel, you don't need to push, you don't need to work hard. In fact, you are not able to, it's not gonna work once you upgrade. And you kind of have no choice. I would say you have a choice, but you don't. If you're watching this, you don't really have a choice. Whatever you tried before and it worked, and you feel stuck and it's not working anymore, until you upgrade your operational system from survival to creator, you're gonna keep being stuck until you will start asking more deeper questions, getting more self-aware, and you finally upgrade your operational system. So how does it look like? What does creator mode look like? And I want to explain it to you from actually a biology and nervous system perspective, so you understand this is not just some kind of metaphor. It's not. So creator mode has no limitation. Creator mode is actually an opportunity for you to connect to your soul blueprint. Each one of us, we have unique soul blueprint. It's kind of like what you can do in this world, what you came here to do, what is your purpose, if you may. And even if it seems to you that you already know your purpose, it might still change, or it might go bigger and deeper for you. Or maybe you already know your purpose, but you feel kind of stuck to taking it to the next level, like to actually execute it. Doesn't work. Like regular business strategies don't work for you. So whatever your stage it doesn't matter what's your current stage, the creator mode has its rules. So you connect in creator mode when you upgrade this operational system, you connect to your soul blueprint, and you kind of receive this inner knowing of what is your purpose in life, like why you are here. And you start to follow this inner knowing, and it starts, the synchronicities appear, your life starts to change, you kind of learn how to surrender, how to let go, because otherwise in creator mode you cannot push through that. So if you will have big vision, like I got this inner knowing of what I want to do, the Creatorland was born, the idea of Creatorland Academy was born, and the concept for kids education and a lot of other things were kind of like downloaded into me. So my life purpose was opened for me. But when I tried to achieve it in a traditional way, like, okay, what's the strategy? Let me open the business, let me register that. I was finding myself like deeply procrastinating. First of all, also, I felt so small because the idea was so big that my personality, my old identity felt like it's impossible for me. It's not possible. So that was still like the echo of survival mode, because in creator mode, everything is possible. If you are given this idea, if you have this knowing or desire or wish to do something, you must understand that it was given to you on purpose. And if you have this desire, there are already people who need this. So it's not like you got this desire and you want the success and you are not sure if there is a market for it, or if it's like the idea is to woo-woo or not, or whatever. So if it was given to you and it feels true to your heart, there are already people who need it. The moment the idea is appearing in your awareness, the same moment, it means that already enough people have this request, enough people have this desire, and you are the one to deliver it. And it's bigger than you, because you are thinking from your personality, you're thinking from this small human inside of you. But if you think as a spirit who came here to get the human experience and play and have this development through overcoming all of these fears, then the idea doesn't seem so scary anymore. You understand that if I was given this idea, it means that I can do it, because I'll be guided and I'll be helped to execute it. All I need is to work on myself and my identity. That's how my identity architecture method was born. So I stopped trying to push my old identity from survival mode to squeeze into this big vision that I was given. And I started working on my identity. I became the person who can hold this vision, and things started moving for me. So the same will be happening to you. So creator mode is very important. Switch, because there you don't have limitation. Your mind will not bring you this idea, like you will not receive this knowing of idea and then be like, oh, I'm too small for that, or oh wow, that's probably a lot of work and I don't think if I can handle that, or I don't want to sacrifice my family for it, or it will not work out. You don't have this thoughts anymore. They might still come in a way, from the field, like from in your awareness, but you will look at them and say, I don't believe it anymore. So you will stop believing all of these limiting beliefs. You'll stop believing your own limiting beliefs because you will become so consciously aware that you're in creator mode and there are no limits. Imagine there is a Minecraft game. I don't know if you ever played it. My daughter is playing it, and the Minecraft, it actually does have these two modes. I don't know if it's called survival, so give me in a comment, but I think it is called survival and creator. I'm not sure. So in survival mode, you build, you mine, you do stuff, but there are also night comes in the game and all these creatures come and you have to hide and you have to, hide from them. They can, whatever, damage your homes. I'm not so big a fan of Minecraft. I mean, I'm not an expert. My daughter, I can bring my daughter next time for podcast. She can dive into it. It's the same. It's the same in our life. So you kind of build your life, build your business, work on your relationship, and then, some limiting belief come and fears come and your subconsciousness activates all those very deep layers and sabotages your success, and you're asking what happened, like what's wrong with me. So it's inevitable there in that mode. It's just how it is. That's your experience. But once you switch, once you do this and you switch, I wish it was that easy, but yeah, try it. There is some work preceding that, but once it's done, there is no more creatures and you're free to create. So then you shift from kind of surviving life, surviving the bills, surviving the business pressure, surviving the relationship pressure, surviving motherhood or fatherhood. You switch into creator mode. It's like, wow, I'm literally limitless. There is no limit, even if I still kind of a little bit doubt that because I don't yet have the physical evidence, but I choose to believe that it's true. And there is no more these creatures who will eat me up at night. So because I really clean them all up and I'm free to create. So what can I create? So you see how much different in survival mode we build success either out of trauma because we want to prove something to ourselves, to neighbors, to our old, colleagues, or and so on, to our boss, to our spouse. We're always like we're building success out of scarcity and fear because we're like not good enough. Let me earn more money so I feel better. And the void is never filled. It's always empty. The more you earn, the more you create, the less fulfilled you feel because nothing fills the void. Because if you're doing it out of trauma, nothing will fill the void. Nothing. It's impossible. Even if you think you've healed your trauma and you don't seek for any kind of validation anymore, you might still do it and you don't even know about it. Because as I told you, if you feel stuck, if you have any kind of limiting beliefs, there is still something unhealed within you. And that's okay. That's absolutely normal. It doesn't mean you're broken. It just means that you need a deeper self-awareness, a little bit of technique to rewrite it all and switch the mode. Because in creator mode, you don't create at all out of for validation or out of validation. You create for the purpose of creation. You don't even create for the purpose of helping somebody or saving somebody. There are still a lot of people who are coaches and practitioners and energy therapists. They're trying to save someone. This is 100% operating in survival mode. You still believe there is somebody to be saved. There is nobody to be saved here. We are all playing the game. We're all spirits playing the game. It's kind of somebody inside their quest, and you kind of enter, open the door and say, hey, and trying to pull them out. Hey, that's the door. That's the answer. Like, come. And they will tell you, hey, I didn't ask for it. I'm enjoying my game. So that's why a lot of people, they're kind of like don't hear you, or like they don't want to follow your advice, or you have clients, you feel their potential, you see how much they can do, and yet how much you try to babysit them and inspire them, they just don't go through this transformation because that was not the point. They were actually part of your quest, so you learn to let it go and to let people play their game. And that's a shift of perspective. That's another episode. So if you are in kind of trying to save somebody, you're still in survival mode, and also it's okay. That's fine. You're not, you're playing. That's your point. That's the point. But if you're watching this, you were supposed to see it. So the information will land in your energetic field, and the shifts will start happening. You will start seeing synchronicities. You will start seeing confirmation of these words. The universe working in a very funny ways. A lot of times, what was happening to me is I was asking all these questions, working on myself, trying to improve my life. And then the breakthrough would come. Like I have this insight, like, wow, aha moment. Ah, that was my block. That's why it didn't happen. And only after that, I would receive some kind of book, video, YouTube podcast, sharing kind of the same information. And I always was asking, how come I didn't see this before? Like it was always there. And it's so obvious. Why I didn't see that before? The answer is because it's a quest. You are not supposed to see the answers until you kind of like understand them. Or you can always ask for a tip, which is a prayer. I like it. I love this method. You can activate your guardian angels. You can activate whatever you believe in, God, Allah, doesn't matter, universe, and you can pray. And this is the same as asking for a tip. If you are stuck and you don't know, you kind of put out this question and ask for help, and that's also part of the quest. That's normal. I was doing it a lot, and that's how information was coming my way. The teachers, the guides, the books, the podcasts, they were coming my way and helping me to unpack my quest step by step until I really absorbed this reality, how it works, how quantum field works, and so on. But it's so much more to discuss on this podcast, of course. So let's come back to the creator mode. So in creator mode, you create out of curiosity, out of excitement, out of thinking, what else can I create? How this map can get better? What can I express? Or better, what can be expressed through me? What is this? This wants to be expressed through me. Because when we think about from perspective of our little human, of our human being inside of us, of this identity, it's always smaller than something that can be created through you. So I will be explaining more how reality works, how the timeline works. But the more you work on yourself, the more you're raising your vibrations, your own frequency, the more you clear your mind from all these toxic patterns and negative thoughts, the more potential is there for the things being born through you into this world that are very impactful. They are very beautiful. And it's not always about changing millions of lives, but this is more about how fulfilled you feel. You know, there is always this feeling that you are unfulfilled, that there is more you can do, there is more to life to you than this just this kind of, okay, even if you have business or company or you have good career and you have family, and if you look at your life, a lot of people kind of dream of this, and you already have much more than average person, yet you feel stuck and you feel empty and you feel unfulfilled because you're still operating from survival mode. You didn't upgrade your operational system, you didn't connect to your soul blueprint, you didn't actually came to take your rightful place. And the very interesting thing, and it's a must know for everyone, that in your reality, where you are living on your timeline, you are the center of it. So your reality is kind of rotating around you. And this is very true. I will dive in more deeply on it on other episodes, but just think, what if it is true? What if? So you playing small and you are refusing to even look deeper or go further because you think your life is already okay, leaves this empty place in the middle of your galaxy, your own personal universe. Nobody will fill it in because there is nobody there except you. Imagine you're playing Mario game. I love Mario game. It has a lot of tips about reality, Mario. It's a part of the tips in our quest. So imagine kind of like the Mario or whatever character you choose settles at some point and doesn't go further on the map. So he kind of settles in this where you have this cave with coins, and it settles. He said, "Oh my God, I have enough coins, and I've played a couple of maps," and settles. But in this specific game, you started this game. Nobody else is playing this game. So in that specific game, the princess will not be saved and the dragon will not be slain because you are the one playing it. So you settling leaves your whole universe without the main purpose of your existence, because there is something you came here to do. There is something you're meant to uncover in yourself. And that was a huge shift for me once it got this inner knowing came to me that by me playing small, by me refusing to implement this business idea, because what I thought there are better equipped people for it. There are people who are better at English, better with presentation skills. Why would I host this podcast? There is already plenty of information on this topic. But no, there is not. There is and there is not. There is plenty of information about reality, quantum field, manifestation, meditation, nervous system, business, strategies. But I've never ever seen, at least in my timeline, in my reality, specific framework that will tell me, hey, you have an operational system, survival mode. You can upgrade it to creator mode, and then you can go and fulfill your soul's blueprint and fulfill your purpose. And there is a framework to it, and there is steps to it, and there is actually science backing all of this up. So it's not like some kind of random thing that you can do. So the very deep inside and mind shift that happened to me, that if I don't do it, then it's not gonna be born into this timeline. Then maybe eventually at some point of my life I will see somebody else did it. Once I have completely given up on that, I would see somebody do it. But if I'm still thinking about it, I'm still like doubting myself, and I'm doing it and not doing it, like thinking about it, then nobody will do it until I actually gather up, man up, but I'm a woman up and do it. And there is so many things that I want to share with you about creator mode. It's so exciting, it's so fun. There is the whole new bunch of rules you have to learn how to play. It's like your Mario character gets a lot of upgrades, and you just have to learn what to press and how to push, and how to do that. But the most important thing, if ever you watch this episode and you watch till the end, and I hope you did. So if you did watch till the end, please share the comments with me. How does it feel to you? Does it resonate? Does it sound like something you've been thinking about? Because that's how energetic field works. It's going to bring in this video to people who kind of think the same. So the purpose of episode was actually opening the door for you to stop being stuck, because once you upgrade from survival to creator mode, there is no limit, absolutely no limit. I'm always very practical. I always like to right away give something useful for you, so that you can implement. And one of the first stages that I would recommend you to do, like a very small practice, it's just 10 seconds practice. Do a deep, deep breath, like a very deep breath. And as you exhale like kind of letting it go. Or even if you don't want, like exhale, so kind of resets your nervous system when you exhale. And as you exhale, just say, I am limitless. I am switching to creator mode. And on this note, I want to ask you, please, please, please support my podcast. I've already have so many episodes waiting to be recorded. You will get a lot of information. You will get a lot of practical tips. You will get a lot of practices that worked for me and for my clients. And please follow me on my other social media platforms, especially on Instagram. And let's co-create together. Let's create a beautiful map where we can enjoy playing.